Hey, everybody. Welcome to Making Connections. This is your girl, Aly. I hope everybody's having a great day. Listen, you guys know we're here every Saturday at 12 noon and every Monday at 2 p.m. And every fourth Monday, though, is James J.T. Thompson. He comes and brings some motivation and inspiration, to help us end this month and then go on, get prepared for the next month in a, in a excited state because we know that life happens, but we always want you to be motivated because like our topic today is springing forward on purpose. So sometimes we think things happen in our lives and we'll be wondering why us and this and that, but listen, if God is in it and it's for purpose and on purpose, it will bless your life. So JT, how you been?
Doing well, doing well. Great to be here on this motivational, impactful, inspiring Monday. They call it springtime, but depending on what corner of the country you in, it is what season you in.
True.
But it's always interesting. Just blessed to be in the number, blessed to be in the mix. Thanking God for each and every second and moment of the day, and welcome our audience here today on Making Connections. You picked the right Monday, and we glad you are in visible and in the quarters, and we thank you for tuning in today.
Yes, I'm excited. I'm excited. Listen, I'm gonna give y'all my testimony about the first quarter of 2023 for me, coming soon. But so we have been running some replays and stuff like that. But it's always good to be live and to be with the guests and be able to interact. So I'm excited. So JT, why you picked this topic, bringing forward on purpose?
So there are a few reasons. I know that there have been conversations about on the government level of eliminating the spring forward and just going with the time that we encounter in the winter months. And so I was thinking, I was like, between that and just navigating through life and thinking about where you are this time of year. We just got through with winter. You're coming into a spring season where if you're not thinking about the breaks and you're thinking about the summer, you're thinking about what's to come. And so the spring to me is a time to let me see how I'm doing so far in the first year of 2023, in the first few months, and kind of reevaluate where I am. Am I drinking the water that I want to drink, the intake that I want to have for that? Am my step count where I want it to be? Am I able to smile at that? Have I achieved some of the short term goals being halfway into 2023? Where am I at with that? My short term 6 month goals. Where am I? So refreshing, renewing, revitalization, and accountability all goes into a spring forward on purpose, meaning that you're doing these things on purpose because these are the things that you had and you said, okay, this is what I want, this is what I'm claiming, and this is what I want to achieve. And so in those top three things, you're thinking about, okay, I said these things with a made up mind. Now, what behind it? What action am I going to put behind it in order to make these things come to life? And so you go back and you look at these things springing, I call it the season of spring, and where am I? And if you're not exactly where you want to be, are you going to eliminate those goals? Or are you going to look for other ways that you can increase the production and the things that you want? Or are you just going to eliminate them? Just say, okay, forget it. I ain't know where I want to do this, this, and the other. Springing forward on purpose means this to me from you was poured into my spirit. No matter where you are in achievement and in life, there's always room to spring forward. We all know the moments are not guaranteed outside of the present moment. But in our mental and in our spiritual, we tell ourselves, I'm going to do this. And if I fall short in this particular moment, guess what? I'm going to step into the next as if I have that in order to make moves, move towards the things that I really want to do. The human and in the flesh says that discouragement and things that can discourage you away from wanting to do those things. But here's my tip on that: discouragement is a cousin to the devil. You have to look at it as if the devil has no place in your life, nor does discouragement. Take discouragement, you twist it all up, you ball it up in your hand, and you throw it away to the nearest garbage that you decide. Because it has no place in your life. It don't even have a place in your pocket. It has no place in your spirit. Those are the things that make your spirit and soul partly cloudy but sunny. We want to alleviate the clouds because at the point of where we want to achieve things, we don't want the sun covered. We don't want the sun, any of its phased out. We want to stay moving forward and focusing in and understanding that the things that we say we are capable of achieving and are capable of doing, we can do it. And just like Nike says on the thing, just do it. With the check mark. Verify yourself. You don't got to pay for the blue check. You ain't got to because it's already been confirmed, verified, and checked by our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. You ain't got to check it for man. Check it for what is good for you, what is beneficial for you, what is great for your spirit, what is going to uplift you and keep you in the space that you were destined to be. All starts from within. Don't forget that. You first love on yourself because God loved you in a special way, in an unconditional way. So take that love that you have manifested within yourself and apply pressure to your life so you can go and do all things. All things.
Listen, see, JT, I be like, I be wanting to comment on so many things that I be like, oh, I can't remember which one he was talking about. But I do want to read the definition of purpose, and that is the reason for which something is done or created, or for which something exists. So you exist, you that are listening, all of us, we exist on purpose because God created us. So he has a purpose for us. He did this for a reason. Sometimes we wonder why we were born in this part of the country, or born to this family, or born this size or this color or what have you, but it's for purpose. You were created on purpose and by God. So, take everything that he created you with and use it for your benefit, use it to your advantage. And man, it's something JT said. Yeah, like, so if things aren't really working out, the way you want them to, what are you going to do? Are you just going to throw away your purpose? Are you just going to, not keep going, living towards your purpose and just exist? Or are you going to keep going for it? Maybe you're an entrepreneur, maybe you're a writer or a songwriter, you're an artist, whatever it is, and maybe things haven't really worked out like you thought they should. Are you going to quit? Because I know we've had so many artists and different talents on the show, and that's one of my questions. They all had hard times. Rome Lucio comes to mind. He said he was afraid to sing in front of people. But what helped him was that one day, this was for his dad's birthday, I think, or something like that. And so he was like, I'm going to sing the song for my dad. And so now he's out touring, making records, writing, producing, doing videos, singing. He was so scared to sing in front of a crowd. And that might be you. You're like, I have a vision, I have purpose, but I'm scared to talk in front of people. I'm scared how they're going to accept me or what's going to happen. Listen, we can all say, go back to our first videos, JT's first video or interview. It's not the same as it is now because now he's got a flow. He knows where he belongs. He knows what he's supposed to be sharing. So it's probably different now, right?
First time that you do anything in this life, the thing that I tell my kids this, first time that you do anything in this life, that first impression is going to be a lasting impression. But the one thing about doing something for the first time is you always leave room for improvement. Meaning that, yeah, they look back at that You're looking like, wow, I really was that timid or that. You realize things about yourself because you remember what it was like going through that. And then you look fast forward to the day and it's like you're thankful for the connection, the bond, and you see the chemistry and even the natural chemistry that you seen in the first is nothing like what you have today because there's building, there's growth, there's conversation, there's communication. All of those things add value to what you have. And so that very important element in this life. Anything that's worth having is worth working on. Anything that you're building towards and you're growing and evolving in, those things are the same as well. So you claim it. I'm a stickler for this. You claim the purpose upon your life because the purpose is designed strictly in your life for you to be able to grow and evolve and have. And there are things that are built in that are going to challenge you. They're going to challenge you to the max. They're going to poke you right there where you be like, okay, you just almost knew where to poke me and where it was going to get me the most. But yet I'm going to take that and push it away because you can't have my glory. You can't have my victory. You can't have my spirit or my soul. Nothing in the flesh is ever supposed to overtake what you have emotionally inside because you still control the narrative. You still have the push through, the eye press on, the it's not about the moment that that I failed or I failed. It's about the moment that I got back up. Those are the moments that define us. So when we talk about springing forward on purpose, we're saying, oh, no matter when you thought you had me, or you thought that I was done, or you thought that that was my last move, guess what? God had something different for my purpose, meaning that just because man spoke something upon my life or made a decision that they thought was the final one, guess what? I'm here to tell you that my God is bigger and my God spoke something different in my purpose. Meaning that despite of man and their decision and their thought, you always understand that it's flesh thought and it has nothing to do with your spiritual meaning and your spiritual growth. And what God has for you, watch this, what God has for you, no man can stop you from what you are destined to be and the purpose that has been spiritually placed upon your life.
Yeah, and that's the truth, and even in in following our purpose, in living, growing into our purpose, and letting our purpose flow through us. Because I've heard different people say, well, people always say follow your purpose, but your purpose is already on the inside of you. It's you opening up to that and letting it flow. Because again, you might be intimidated at first to talk in front of people, but that's okay. Start off at a school where you're reading books to kids or something like that. Start off at a nursing home where you're, people who don't get many visits or whatever. But you have to start somewhere in order to keep springing forward. Because what I do know, and I can't remember what we were talking about, but one of the pastors at my old church, he's like, every ship has to be moving somewhere, right? When a ship is just sitting and it's not moving, it's amazing what the water is doing to it. The water is degrading that ship, is breaking all the elements down in that ship. But as long as the ship keeps moving, the ship can stay afloat longer, you know? And so every ship has to keep moving. So whatever you are, your purpose, whatever your desire, whatever your goal is in life, even for your family, you have to make sure that you keep moving them forward. How important is it for you, JT, that you're allowing that purpose to flow, because you have children who are following in your footsteps, children who are watching you, and they're young men watching you be a grown man yourself. How important is that?
Means a lot. Uh, when you're moving in purpose, and it doesn't mean that we're without flaw, and it doesn't mean we don't make mistakes. But the biggest thing that we have to remember, stay accountable, be transparent, is be honest. And those things reflect something in humility and humbleness, and knowing that despite where I am and what I've done, I can always move forward. And knowing that my sons look up to me, my nieces, my nephews, they look, I understand the narrative. But I also understand that there was a point in time that I had to go through it so you wouldn't have to. I can give it to you and know that it's the truth because I walked those steps. You know, like how you tell yourself, you know, when you little, be like, man, you know what, I do not want to be talking the same language mom and daddy talking. I done heard it over and over and over. Then you grow up, man up, and you be like, you know what? Yes, I just repeated that because it was something that was being instilled in me. The moment where you get it, you get it. That was what that was. It was something that was being sown to me, because it was a fabric that I needed to be successful in this life. And when you start sowing those same things into your kids' life and people around you, you begin to understand what that was. Meaning that there are a lot of things, a lot of gems that are dropped in our atmosphere in this life. But you don't understand just how important it is until the day that you manifest it and you use it. It comes back up. That wasn't just for them, it was also for you. Again, we're going back to on purpose and springing forward. It has a whole lot more to do with you as an individual than the next person. You can't. What's the biggest thing, Allie? You can't pour water into anything if you don't have anything in the glass. There ain't nothing in the cup you can't pour in, and it's the same thing humanly. Unless you've been fed, unless you've gotten what you needed, there's nothing that you can pour into because nothing has been poured into you to do the pouring. So you have to embrace that the spiritual feed. You have to embrace when God is speaking to you, even when you don't realize who He's speaking through. You know it because you know the voice of God, you know the power of God. So it means everything to me. When I've seen it and realized it and understood the impact, it is an amazing feeling because man, God spoke something upon my spirit. God looked at my prayers. God is answering my prayers. And you know you having an effect on somebody's life. And they actually take something from you and they apply something of you in them. It's especially when you're looking at your kids and you see your mannerisms and you see, some of your actions and even some of your younger self in them, to know that you got and can say something and they heed that and they even do a better job of taking it than what you did. Yeah, it means everything. And it gives the bow tie and the wrap on this life because what God said you can do on purpose, intentionally, when you see the actions of that, when you see the power of that movement, when you know you can stand in a room and whether that room is 2 or 200, and you have the undivided attention of a generation that doesn't have a long-term attention, now you know that there's something gifted, especially within you. And think about that. God positioned you. God gave you the opportunity to walk through that door, the opportunity to speak life into situations that otherwise would be negative and would be going the wrong way. That within itself is humbling, and it's also something that I would call being not just moving in the entrepreneur spirit, but moving in the spirit that you know that you were able to minister and serve. And it wasn't about a title, it was about serving mankind and uplifting all people, regardless of gender, color, race, religion, and understanding that that is the purest foundation and fundamentally of how this is supposed to be and what it's supposed to be. I ain't judging no man, exposed to sin and judgment of no man, because that is not what my purpose on this life is. That's on a higher power. But the purpose is placed upon your life to inspire, impact, and uplift others because you know There was a time that God sent someone to uplift you on purpose, intentionally, tapping you without you seeing in the physical, but understanding that was love unconditionally, letting you know, I will not forsake you. And yes, man will let you down, they will bury you, they will talk about you, they'll do all things, but let me know I can work and talk through any man, and I can get your undivided attention even when you don't think it's me. You'll take the moment and know that it's all of me because I am everything. I am the Alpha and the Omega. I am the mover of all things. And I know you because I created you. And I know all I need you to do is reach back and acknowledge me, ask forgiveness for all of your sins, and be obedient in your life and on purpose, with understanding your purpose and serving and ministering in this life. And it's not about being a red of a duck, but it's about being a human being operating in a Christian life and being real about who you are and whom's you are. And that's bigger than any title and any celebrity role or any Walk of Fame or any Golden Star, any Oscar or any Grammy or any Soul Trainer award, any BET award. When you have the grace and the mercy of a king's kid and God accepting you fully as a sinner saved by the grace of God, and that you have the opportunity based on the humanity and the works that you do in this life to go and cross across heaven's gate because God said, job well done. That's bigger purpose than anything fleshly in this life.
Amen. Listen, you are just, I mean, I don't know, you're just speaking to me because, it's about what God has adorned, uh, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? Ordained for our life. Appointed us and anointed us to do because it is so much that it's not about comparing yourself to other people. It's just being the best you that you can be. A lot of times we do that. We compare ourselves to other people. We compare ourselves to our progress to other people's progress. But you progress in a different time and in a different way, and that's okay as long as you keep moving and springing forward. We just don't want you to be stagnant. We just don't want you to quit on life. We don't want you to quit on you because if God created you, there's multiple talents and gifts and skills on the inside of you. He has no respect of person. He didn't give JT more grace and mercy than he's given me. He's not going to give me more grace and mercy than he's going to give you. Listen, we've all made mistakes. We've all, failed the test sometimes. Sometimes I just didn't want to do it. I was just being disobedient, period. You know what I'm saying? But then I had to deal with my disobedience. And so sometimes, you just have to face it. Okay, I didn't want to do it. But listen, I'm figuring out that life ain't really turning out the way I saw it. Life ain't really moving forward like I wanted to. So I'm going to have to come off my pride, arrogance, whatever it is, my hurt, my disappointment. I'm going to have to let that stuff go and really tune into God because we've all been hurt. We've all had disappointments. We've all failed a test, and it's okay. But when we the when we really fail is when we quit. We can never win if we quit. We can never move forward if we just quit. So you got to keep going. I mean, we always relate usually to sports and stuff like that. When the teams are on the field, they can't quit. It doesn't matter if the score is 20-40. How many of you have seen the turnaround where the underdog who was losing came back and won the game? But they never would have won if they quit just because they was in a bad place at that moment, just because the team was a little disoriented. And then you have coaches, like JT saying, other people in your life, your pastors, maybe even a coach to, help call the plays and to help you get back on track. So I just want you to know that you can get there. It can happen for you just like it can for anybody else, right, JT?
He can. And I'll give you an example. Anybody that's watching the the NCCAA basketball men's tournament right now, look at the format and how things have gone. No number one teams that were seeded number one made it to the Final Four. All the teams that made it to the Final Four were those that were counted out, those that were not looked upon as the blue collars, the ones that were normally there. You have teams there that have never made a Final Four ever, but yet in belief and in teamwork and in working together and in good coaching, now they're one of the last four left. They have opportunity to achieve something for some of the schools that they've never achieved in their school history. That is faith, grace, and mercy on display because those things have an opportunity to play out. And those, the San Diego States, the Florida Atlantics, the Miami Hurricanes, the Yukon Huskies, four teams left. One was seeded ninth, one was seeded fifth, and two was seeded, I think, fifth and sixth respectively. Again, your seeding in life is not the determination of where you're going to finish. Understand this: where you start is not where you're going to finish. What you put in is not the determining factor of whether you're going to make it. You can't teach heart. You can't teach heart, and you can't teach determination and willpower. Those things are going to win over talent, heads and over heel, because those things are things that are built within us. When I look at those 14s and I've watched and I've seen, all of them have that. All of them also understood the assignment. All of them had a mentality that it's us against the world. We may be the only 14, 15 people that believe that we're going to make the Final Four and make a championship and win one. That's the mentality that it takes in life. It starts within you. You have to believe first. You have to embrace it first. Once you get it, once it's inside of you, then the ball is certainly in your court to carry that wherever it needs to be. Once you understand the logic of this life, what inspires you, what uplifts you, what is going to take you over the threshold for you to be successful. A made up mind, made up mentality on purpose, intentionally, it breeds winning. Winners never quit, quitters never win. Can't quit something and say that I gave my whole entire effort to it. Now it's the part. It's the thing of okay. You understand when something is not for you and you giving 100% effort, and you understood. Okay, hey, you know what? I gave it a try, and I understand that it's just not for me. Those are totally different knowledge, than just saying, "Oh, hey, I quit. I can't take it. It's too hard." It's no, 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 no. You give it all you got. And at the end of everything that you possibly could put on the table for that particular thing that you had in mind that you want to do, if at that point the white flag is there and you've done and you've left it all on the field, like the cliche said, you've left it all out there on the field, then and only then, excuse me, it makes sense. But quit something because you don't think you can do it, there's can't is eliminated from the category because I can will always be first and foremost. And being able to follow that up with I can do all things by faith and by putting God first in everything. And I keep bringing God up because if I had never seen it, found it, seeked it, discovered it, embraced it, I would not be sitting here right now on this platform in this, blessed to have this opportunity. It all came from something. But what I can tell you this, it all started, oh my God in heaven, it all started with what he seen in me. It all started from what he placed in Miss Aly, in the purpose, in the spirit, in the mindset of even if you feel like giving up, there's something more. There's more purpose that I see toward the Making Connections shows. There's more springing forward to do. In your season of springing forward could have came in the fall, the winter or the summer, but he chose the time, and there's nothing like God's timing. And she got that testimony, and she penned it, and she knows it, and she can recite it and tell you like it's not like it's nothing, because she walked the steps of that journey. No different from me. I walked the steps of this journey. So the things that were built to knock us down, guess what? We hopped up and it went through. We made it through. And there was something. Didn't say it didn't come without some scars. But I'm tell you that those scars built us stronger to be able to be here today on Making Connections TV and give it to you from the horse's mouth. Did anybody say it was gonna be easy? Because if it was easy, everybody be doing it. And we can tell you about the stripes that you are built with. You can do anything in the right mentality, the made up spirit, and a thing of saying, I'm gonna put action to the prayer. I'm just not gonna talk about it, not just gonna be all talking, no action, because faith without works is nothing. It's a dream without action behind it. I say it's just a cloud. It's just a vision. But until you put action to it, that's when you bring reality to the purpose of springing forward on purpose intentionally in this life.
Listen, listen, listen. I hope this is blessing y'all today because it is surely for me. You know, sometimes I'll be like, oh, it's my turn to talk, but I'm still taking it in because he's right. We know what we're talking about, and we know that you have to keep going because, again, when I started this, it started different. I started with a partner. We were only on Saturdays. Now it's just me. Me and my partner are still friends, but this just wasn't for us in that season. Now we're 2 days a week, different things. I mean, so we're growing and we're expanding. And before I was like, okay, who's gonna be the guest? I mean, can somebody can somebody come be on the show? Now, we just have to schedule people. It's like people like, can we get on? Can we get on? And so I'm telling you, and I'm bragging on God because only He did that. Because I was like, Lord, now if this is you and I'm supposed to do this, now we don't like to make a fool of ourselves. So if this is you, let's do this, right? And let's do it right and let's do it well. But I still had to grow into it. I had to grow into, and I've said it on the show before. Like if a guest didn't show up, I would be like, why they didn't come? Now I'm by myself. I'm feeling crazy. I don't know what to say, and we might not even have a show because I just couldn't do it. But now, if guests don't show up, it's like, okay, well, hey, how y'all doing? This is what happened. Da 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 da. You know what I'm saying? So, but I had to go through that training ground. So a lot of times, we want to win, but we don't want to go through that training. A lot of times we want things to change, but we don't want to go through that season of training, that season of, maybe having to set some stuff aside, even being an entrepreneur, because it takes time to build your business. It takes time to build your clientele. If you're a writer, it takes time to put that book together and to get it edited, find out the layout of the front, the artistic piece. And I mean, but you got to go through that training ground, just like these teams in the off season. They still in training, okay, because they have a purpose in mind. So, what's your purpose? You got to figure out your purpose. You got to figure out what's on your mind, what vision, what goal has God given to you. And a lot of times, we hear other people's voices, and even like when JT was saying, when you've done all you can. Like I always tell parents, let your kids play different sports because, like my godson, he played soccer, but that really wasn't what he wanted to do. He tried, and he was good, but that wasn't it. But when he got to the football field, even the training from soccer helped him in when he got on that football team. See what I'm saying? Make sense, JT?
Makes a lot of sense. I mean, that willpower to press on and move forward, there's nothing like it. I mean, at all. And I'm not gonna tell you from a personal standpoint, man, there's a lot of times you just want to throw your hands up like, man, I had it all I could take. Stress level be somewhere else. Your tolerance, your patience. It's like, you know what? A reminder of Patience is a virtue. In this life, even if you don't have a lot of it, you're going to develop some of it. But you have to allow that process to be fully manifested in you. Those that are successful in doing things and have things going on, they had a whole story behind that of how they got to that point. They weren't just born like that. I don't care what kind of silver spoon was born in your mouth. All went through something, or there's a learning curve that you will go through in this life in order to develop and fully come into who you were supposed to be. That's just that's life, and that's one of the biggest things in this life. So when you living in purpose, when you're walking on that journey, first thing, Aly, you have to remember, and you know this, never believe that you're walking alone. Always remember, it's not about what you see and who you see, but who is always covering you, who is the light of your path, who is the author of your life, who is the creator of all creators. And I take you back to Jesus once again, because when you get it and you're fully walking in that journey, everything makes sense. If you got an ego, your ego gonna be humbled, because there's nothing like talking to the creator. There's nothing like hearing his voice. Don't deny me on earth and in the presence of others, and I won't deny you when it's your time and your day. I take those things and I take it to heart because I understand the narrative on that. Recognize how. And I'm gonna be the first to tell you here. There's not a man that you can put in that spot that even comes close to what God is doing for you. Whether you deserve it or not, what is happening every day in your life, every moment, every day that you wake up, ain't got nothing to do with, even if there's somebody physically waking you up. That's all God. Can't even give credit to the alarm like that, because you'll beat that alarm up and hit the snooze button and go several times in on that thing. But the one person that you can't, even though you don't realize the significance of what that is, it's the moment of when you do. What are you going to do with it when you realize what your why is and why your life is so relevant? In all things and all speaking engagements that I've done, the one thing that I've asked and that I've had repeated, you are somebody. And I have to repeat, I am somebody. Behind that, the logic behind that is, Aly, you believe you're somebody. I'm raising my hand high, saying that I am somebody. Guess what? You're reaching closer to the man upstairs. You're linking the olive branch. That's why I haven't done that. You raise your hand and you say, I am somebody. Now God is reaching back. You feel that? God is reaching back because you reached up to the heavens and the earth. You're reaching up. You're looking up. That's why a lot of times when I'm praying, I don't even say bow your heads no more. I say, stay right there and just close your eyes. And imagine that you have God's ear at your mouth. And you can say anything that you want to say to God. That is your time. Even though we're in a group, phase out for a moment and you have your conversation with God. And as we're praying, yeah, we're praying together, but you are individually telling God exactly what's well in your heart, your spirit, and your mind. That's why in the prayer, now that all hearts and minds are clear, we can proceed from the place of where we are. Same thing with today, same thing on this platform. I encourage someone. If you ain't had a conversation with God, if you hadn't talked to God today, if you hadn't just said, thank you, God, hallelujah, I'm rejoiced in just knowing that you are here and I am still breathing in this life and understand that everybody didn't make it to the threshold this morning. Everybody didn't rise up this morning. There's some people that are going through bereavement. There's some people that's going through illness. There's some people that's just trying to figure it out. There are people on the street that's homeless. I stand and am perfect in space right now because God, you seem fit for me to be in position, but you're positioning me to do something on purpose with intent to be a blessing to someone else. Remember that. You will always be in position and conditioned and staying ready. So you ain't got to get ready to apply action, not just to the words that come out of your mouth, but to the achievements that you want to do in this life and to the things that you ain't even able to foresee where God has positioned you to be an upliftment and encouragement and inspiration and have impact on your fellow man, your fellow neighbor, your family member, a stranger in the street. Walk not in fear because God is always with you. And in this situation arises, know that it's all God and God is going to protect you, shield you, equip you with what is needed to walk through and step through any situation.
Amen. Once again. Listen, God will never leave you nor forsake you. He said He would be with you always, just like your vows in marriage or whatever, for the good, the bad, the sickness and health, all that stuff. He is He's got an answer for it. He makes a way of escape for you no matter where you are. And so right now we're going to take a quick break and we're going to hear a song called Throw It All Away by Lena Lay. And yeah, listen to this song. She's on a path now. You know, she said she's changing her music. She wants to be inspirational. You know, she wants to encourage people. So this is, excuse me, Lena Lay's Throw It All Away.
Wait, stop, take a breath, though it's hard. Take my hand, just hold on, it's not far away. In the moment, strong's not there. Searching, all you find is fear. Only you that stands in your way. Man, I'm so tired, I'm so damn tired. Just take me higher, always a fighter. It's overwhelming, but that doesn't matter. It's dim and getting lower. I need someone to come and light my fire. The only thing I own and don't want is this pain and fear. One day is here, tomorrow I'll just throw it all away. You gotta want it, baby, know that it just won't appear. Don't be so hard on yourself, just throw it all away. There's no shortcut that's been proven. Then what am I really doing? Say I got it, I don't, man, who am I fooling? I don't really like the morning, blessed to see it, though no joking, feeling like I'm chosen, I'm just working through it. Man, I'm so tired, I'm so damn tired. Just take me higher, always a fighter. We're taking chances, but that doesn't matter. It's dim and getting lower. I'll be the gas, can you be my igniter? The only thing I own and don't want is this pain and fear. One day is here, tomorrow I'll just throw it all away. You gotta want it, baby, know that it just won't appear. Don't be so hard on yourself, just throw it all away. Said I'll throw it all away. I'll throw it all away. Said I'll throw it all away. Said I'll throw it all away. I'll throw it all.
Hey, hey, listen. That was Lena Lay, and her song is entitled Throw It All Away. you hear her in there, she's talking about, sometimes she's tired, it gets overwhelming, but that's okay. But she knows she gotta stand for it, she gotta fight for it, because it's not just gonna come her way, right? But then she says all the fear and the disappointments and all that stuff, that's the stuff she's gonna throw away. Not her purpose, not her vision, but she's gonna throw away all the things that are keeping her bound. She's gonna light her fire and keep going. And so that's what we want you to do. You know, I'm just gonna say this. Even like sometimes I will think about um, a drug dealer, honestly, and I'll be like, now they really run a tight ship. They make money. They have a system, and I'm like, they could be like really in business, like a legal business, and make money legally, not have to be chased around, not have to worry about what you're doing and where you're going, who's after you. Because I'm like, the way they run their business, they running a business. But why not just do it something legally and do the same thing? Still employing people, still putting people, in place and systems in place. So, they have the mentality, they just are on the wrong side of, the legalization part. But I mean, but that just tells you that we all have purpose. We all can do this. We all can make things work. We have the ideas, but we just got to put them in place, and we got to throw away the disappointments and the fears, and they're gonna come. You can throw them away today. They're gonna be back on Thursday, but just throw them away again, because just like your trash in the house, when the trash can gets full, you take it out again. It is not a one-time thing, right, JT?
Yeah, definitely a everyday thing. Sometimes twice a day. Um, the analogy makes sense. Lena Lay's song "Perfect" for this particular episode. Had opportunity to interview her on the digital meet and greet with some guy named Jay. Amazing spirit, very humble, humility, and real. And if we could just get more of what she's putting out in the atmosphere, and her music is spoken from the heart and the spirit, and just amazing. I was thinking back on in the interview when I listened to the song, like she's amazing, and she is an example of just taking life by the horns and saying, you know what, I'm going to continue to be in control of my life and be humble, be human, but give you from the heart and my spirit, and keep it all the way real, and you can connect with that because you can understand where she's coming from, because she's pouring out songs straight from her heart, and she's talking about real things. And we're talking about throwing it all away, but you know exactly what you're throwing away, and you ain't throwing away the good stuff. You're throwing away and you're relieving yourself of the stuff that is no longer needed in your space and in your life.
Yes, yes, yes. I think it's, oh gosh, Miranda, somebody that, and only, I think it's Run to You or something like that, or something like that. But she's saying, Lord, release me of the things that are depleting me. So, that has to be your desire. Every day I'm going to release something that's depleting me, and sometimes life depletes us. Sometimes family depletes us. Sometimes it's things that we really have to do that deplete us, but we know that it's only for a season. Say, like, if you're helping to take care of your parents or something like that, sometimes it makes you tired, but this is only for a season because they're only here for so long. But when things deplete you to the point that you can't move forward, that you start thinking negative of yourself, it's those type of things that you need to remove from your life. You know what I'm saying? Because even though it might make you tired, taking care of your parents, it's a love there as well. You know what I'm saying? It's a fulfillment there, and they're being blessed. You know what I'm saying? So you really have to take evaluation. You really have to sit down sometimes and just be like, okay, God, let's talk about this. Show me the things that I need to let go of. Show me the things that maybe I'm just letting go of for a season. Because even when we tell people about financial things, sometimes we're like, sometimes you just have to do this for a season. We're not saying you can't go to Starbucks and buy coffee ever again in life, But we're just saying you have a goal right now. So since you have a goal to save $100, let's give up Starbucks for a moment. So don't think of, it as finality. It just depends on what you want out of life, where you want to go, where you want to be, and how you want to get there, right?
That's it. Just gave it to him on a silver platter with a touch of nuggets and gems and the sauce. That'd be mindful, man. You got to receive the things that are being said. Dropping knowledge, and these the same nuggets that we're dropping today are the same things that we had to intake, embrace, process, and utilize in our lives.
Right.
We didn't come with a manual. It come with, hey, I'm gonna give you nothing. You gotta earn it. You gotta earn your way. You gotta earn your keep. Then
Yes.
when you do, that's earning respect. That's earning your continued movement in this life. And it's also something I left out early, Aly. Your content of character
Mhm.
and mannerisms will carry you farther than anything else in this life.
Yes, Lord.
You develop
Come
a
on.
character that is of substance, relevant, real, and comes from a different place. You're not just ordinary. You cut different, you built different, the fabric of your spirit is different. You understand the matter of what respect means in giving it and receiving it, and knowing the difference knowing the difference between disrespect and people that just don't value you. Two
Right.
totally different things. Both can be construed, but when you learn the difference between the two,
Right.
you can move further. And also understanding that you are the difference in any room that you step in. You just have to understand the narrative of what that means. And once you do, life becomes just a tad bit easier to navigate through, because no longer are you looking at it as selfless. You're looking at it as, it's not about me. It's all about God's purpose for me, and me staying obedient and being focused always.
So true. You hear those things, you hear somebody's testimony and they're like, I finally, became myself. I finally just became free. And you're like, what does that mean? What do you mean? I mean, I'm not chained up or anything. I'm free. I can do what I want to. But still, there's a part of you that's not free, a part of you that's still scared to show up, a part of you that's still scared to be seen or what have you. So, like he's saying, when you really get it, just like you were saying before, where you're like, I'm not gonna say this because my parents don't know what they talking about, and then you start sounding like I said the same thing my mama used to tell me, because you came into that and you started understanding. So you got to understand who you are, and you got to be okay with your quirks and your thing. I am a quirky person. All my friends would tell you, they be like, "Oh my god, you so crazy," but it's just who I am. And before I used to try to, change it up because I'm like, I want to be a part of the crowd. I want to, look like everybody, act like everybody, like what everybody else does. But it just was not for me. And so, and it's okay. But they love me anyway. They just be like, that's Aly and keep going. And it's okay. So whatever is inside of you, whatever, is holding you back, whatever it is, throw it all away. Just throw it all away. And maybe it's something, again, like I talked about my godson, the skills he learned on the soccer field, he was able to use them in football. So keep the good things, the things that were going right. Okay, put that on paper. This was going right. This was working. So how can I tweak this process to take it to the next level? So it's so many ways to do it. And James JT always talks about accountability. You have to find somebody that you can be accountable with, that you trust. And it can't always be somebody be like, yeah, yeah, yeah. Sometimes you need a person says no, no, no. And sometimes you just got to hear why that no is present. But listen, y'all can do it. We want y'all to move forward, spring forward. And even the thing about springing forward, You know, y'all seen springs, and when you put something in it, it pops out, it catapults it a little bit further. We're not even just talking about moving slow pace like a tortoise. It's your season to catapult and to spring forward. You're gonna pass by some things, some processes and steps because it's your time and because you're ready and because you're allowing God to do it. So now, just let him do it. JT?
That's it. Once you give of yourself, once you give freely, and you can keep yourself out of bondage. A lot of times we are in our own way and don't even understand it. You think you walking left to right, and really all along you got right over left and you can't move. You have to realize those things because you can feel those things, but you have to get out your own way. You have to get out your own way and understand, hey, you know what? It really is me that's stopping me from being able to move forward. And I gotta unloosen that. I can't lock myself up. I also have to free yourself. Free yourself to be able to be the best version of yourself that you can be. But it first starts with self accountability, self love, and the attitude of I am somebody and I am free, slave to no one but a king's kid to my creator.
Yeah.
Everything. Believe in faith. Faith is small as a mustard seed. But the faith to be able to walk through this life without having to see it, but believe in it will get you through and set you free.
Amen. Listen, JT, tell them where they can follow you and listen to Big Blue Radio and all that good stuff.
Made it simple. James Sherman Thompson on Facebook. JT underscore Big Blue Radio on Instagram. On Twitter, on Twitter is simply JT at JT JST Productions. Um, don't forget you can go order the book Eula's Grand May's Son on
Yeah.
Amazon or hit me up directly and get an autographed copy. It's just as simple. Book two coming in the fall of this year. Eula's Grand May's Son Volume 2 coming
Yeah.
soon. Poet JT on Spotify, all digital work networks. Brand new single out with Minister T Breeze. Christmas is up. 4 weeks number one in digital New York radio at
All right.
on the top 10. Got a treat for you. Brand new track coming with Minister T Breeze dropping summer 2023.
Yeah.
Uh, so never box yourself in on what greatness can be upon your life. JT at BigWooRadio.com is the email. You can check out all episodes of the Floetic Poetry Show, Big Woo Acting a Fool, and also Big Woo and Friends on Sundays. You can check it all out on BigWooRadio.com. All the episodes are on there. Go back, check them out, have fun with them. Brand new shows coming soon. Thank everybody for the support, for the follows, for the comments, for the encouragement, the upliftment. It's all being received because God is first in everything. We believe that God's timing is everything. Thank
Mhm.
everybody who was tuned in to Make Connections TV today with my girl Aly. What a blessing it is to be on a tremendous platform with so many wisdom and dreams and gems being dropped every show out. Don't take it for granted. Grab you a few nuggets from it and apply it to your life and see too. Your life will be changed and different ever, forever and always.
Yes. So we definitely ask you to like and share these videos. Listen, we are here. We're making connections with Aly. We're here every Saturday at 12 noon, every Monday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Remember that JT is with us every fourth Monday. That's every fourth Monday. He's with us bringing those inspiration and motivation that we need. Listen, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, go subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're trying to grow. We're revamping some things. We're going to come out with a new logo and some things for making connections. I know I've been saying that I've been sick for a while, kind of dropped, got behind a little bit, but that's okay. Before I would have been like stressed out. I didn't do it at the first of the year, but it's okay because it's still in process. It's still going to happen. And when it happens, it's still going to be great. So, yeah, look out for all the things that we have coming up with making connections. And so, listen, we're here for you. We hope you're encouraged. Share this video with somebody else because somebody else needs to hear these words of encouragement as well. All right. Well, until next time, as always, we're here for you. But until next time, as always, we're leaving you with love, positivity, and good vibes. Have a great day, everybody. Bye, JT.